Does the idea of selling your home and buying another home at the same time scare you? With all that's at stake, it should scare you. I've helped sellers sell their home and buy another home countless times, and I'll be the first to tell you there's a lot to this process, and there are several pitfalls to avoid. I'm Chuck Shaver of the Shaver Group with Keller Williams Heritage Realty here in Central Florida, and today I'm going to provide some tips to help when selling and buying a house at the same time. The first thing you need to do is evaluate your needs. You first need to know why you want to move. Is it because you don't like the kitchen cabinets and you just want a fresh start? Or is it because your family is growing and you have a job transfer? The point here is that you need to be sure you're considering doing this for the right reasons. The reality is that it's expensive to buy and sell a home, and you don't want to get halfway into the process, or worse yet, all the way through, only to realize you made the decision to move for the wrong reasons. Secondly, you need to be aware of the current market situation. Will your home sell quickly? Will I have difficulty finding a home that I like? In a seller's market, your home may sell quickly, making the sale side easy. However, in the same seller's market, the inverse is also true. It may be just as difficult to buy a home as it was easy to sell your home. Of course, the opposite viewpoints also occur in a buyer's market. If your home will sell quickly, where will you go? What if you cannot find the right home when your home goes under contract? Are you willing to take the fam and move in with mom and dad? How do you feel about living in grandma's RV for a few months? Can you afford an Airbnb? Now, nobody wants to settle on something as important as a new home, so please give this some real thought. When I'm talking to homeowners that are considering this option, I usually want to hear them voice several options with the general confidence that they'll be able to find a home that they love once their home is under contract. Then I also discuss that nuclear option, the what if they cannot find the home they really want, and then we discuss the viability of those options. Now, I think this is a good time to make a little disclaimer here. Selling a home can be very stressful. Buying a home can be very stressful, but selling and buying a house at the same time can be absolutely bonkers. As such, be aware of your emotions throughout this process. I'm very careful to go almost overboard preparing my sellers for this component of the process, and I'm making regular check-ins to ensure my customers aren't freaking out over something that doesn't exist. On the other side, I'm also making sure that they're paying attention to what they need to be paying attention to. It's my job to make sure that things are on track, and this is a big component of it, so I spent a lot of time here. So, you've decided that you do want to sell your home and buy for all the right reasons, and you have addressed your plans and you have that nuclear option in place. Now what? I know that you may have been in your home for a long time, and you've made your payments on time, and that's definitely important. But do you have any equity in your home? Has the market risen to give you that equity? Maybe you purchased your home with little or no money down, like a VA loan or something along those lines. Now, these situations can leave homeowners upside down and owing more than their home is worth. So check your mortgage statement to see how much you owe. The next step is to select and speak with a local realtor. Now, there are always some that believe that they don't need a realtor, and I understand that. But this is no time to be gambling that you can actually pull it off this time. The reality is that you're going to need someone with experience to hold your hand and walk you through this process, the sale and the buy side, all culminating in one stressful afternoon like 8 weeks from now. There are likely several hundreds of thousands of dollars at stake. Yes, you could save a few bucks, but you could also lose a whole lot more. Speaking of that dough, discuss how much you owe and how much you have in savings to see if they believe that you've even got a shot to make this work. Yes, you could use your cousin Sally. I mean, she's a new realtor, but she'll work hard, right? Yes, and she may have a heart of gold, work like a dog, and be a fantastic marketer. But without years of experience doing exactly this, it could be a good way to ruin those family get-togethers after Sally makes just a minor error in judgment that ends up costing you thousands of dollars, or worse yet, the entire deal. As such, be sure to interview several experienced realtors. You'll know when you find the right one, as he or she will speak with confidence about how the process works, and they will be the ones digging to determine your motivation, your willingness, and your ability to accomplish the job that you want to make happen. When you're speaking with your realtor, you got to be real about pricing. Many sellers want the filet mignon price for their chopsteak house, and I work with them to get every penny their due. But if sellers don't price their home where it can actually sell in a timely manner, then they're at risk of wasting a lot of time and a lot of money. Now, I'm surely not saying pricing it like there's a fire sale, but pricing your home properly can often get you a higher net price than starting above where the market has interest. Proper pricing gives you and your realtor a level of confidence that you can sell in a given time frame, and it gives the seller of the home that you want to buy a level of confidence that it will sell. After all, would you take your home off the market for a buyer that isn't serious about selling their home? I sure as heck wouldn't, and I wouldn't advise my sellers to do so either. Homeowners often want to make an offer on a home before they put their home on the market. While this does provide a bit of a security blanket, in a seller's market it can be very difficult to get another seller to accept your offer when your home isn't even on the market. Although this is a possibility, it can end up forcing you to unnecessarily give up any leverage that you may have on the buy side. As such, in a seller's market, it's typically better to put your home on the market before you make an offer on the new home of your dreams. In a buyer's market, it isn't as important, but it's still usually going to help up with leverage when attempting to make that purchase on the home that you want. Next, speak with a couple lenders, not just the one that handled your last mortgage. Perhaps your realtor can recommend a couple lenders that they've closed deals with. Now, I know it's a headache to make more calls and it takes more time, but we're talking about thousands or tens of thousands of dollars that could be at risk depending on which lender you choose. Once you've selected a lender, tell them exactly what you plan to do. Remember, they benefit from your success too, so don't hold back on your intentions and listen carefully to what they tell you to do and do it. Next, consider some alternatives to traditional financing. I work with a company that will actually buy your home and provide financing as a cash offer. This gives my customers assurance that their home will sell and allows them to make an offer on another home as a cash offer. It's a very good product that eliminates a lot of stress and, surprisingly, it's quite inexpensive. Another option is to use an equity line. Perhaps you've got enough equity in your current home to fund the purchase of another home. This option could save you a bunch of dough and closing costs and can really simplify things a good bit as well. Maybe a bridge loan can be an option. Now, these are rare these days, but it is an option. And there are actually quite a few other options out there too. So speak to a lender, maybe do a Google search and look around, maybe talk to your friends, but there are other options. So once you've determined your real motivation, you've selected a qualified realtor, you've found the right lender, and you know exactly what you can afford, well, now it's time to get serious. By now, most sellers have already been on one of the hundreds or thousands of websites out there looking at homes. Perhaps you've been doing that before you got on watching this video. But now you know what you can afford, or at least what you want to pay. As such, before you pull the trigger on listing your home, it may be wise to consider some options, some homes that you think you could live with before you pull that trigger. Now, don't fall in love with any of them yet. Save that for once your home is on the market and you've accepted an offer. Too much emotion too early can be dangerous. Unfortunately, I've learned this the hard way, and I've made some very bad financial decisions when I let my emotions control my decision-making process. This process is tricky and it's wrought with complications. As such, the reality is that problems usually do arise. This is when you'll be grateful that you have an experienced partner on your side. As such, talk with your realtor about contingency plans. For instance, what if the home you're selling doesn't appraise? What if this buyer needs to extend for some unknown reason? What if there's an issue with inspections of the home that you're purchasing? Maybe you'll need to at least consider a pre-occupancy or post-occupancy addendum. Now, I don't really like either of these options, but they are options that must at least be considered. In a seller's market, sometimes sellers can be permitted to stay in their home for a period after closing. Again, it's not desirable, but it is an option. Your realtor should be planning and coordinating the entire process while dealing with multiple title companies, multiple realtors, and perhaps multiple lenders too, to keep things running smoothly. When your home is on the market, they should be communicating with you regularly and helping you to find the right home for you in short order. Now, it can feel like there's a lot of pressure here. Well, that's because there is. But remember, you've already determined that this person, your realtor, knows what they're doing. and you've chosen them as the expert to carry you through to the promised land in your new home. As such, breathe, slow down, you will get through it. There's a lot of moving pieces, but this is done every day, and you can be successful too. Now, I surely hope I haven't scared the death out of you. Maybe you're pulling your hair out. The process can appear daunting to potential sellers. However, to someone that's done it over and over again, they should be ready for the challenge. Yes, it can get ugly if things go awry. Now, but I'm not going to really address that here. That's a whole nother video. If you have additional questions about selling and buying a house at the same time, either put those questions in the comments section down below or reach out to me directly. Finally, don't forget to hit the like and subscribe buttons and hit that little bell down at the bottom. It gives you a notification whenever I post other content just like this. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you soon.